Good morning, everybody. We'll be starting in just 1 minute. I'm a little early today, actually, or at least I think I am. All right. There we go. Good morning, everybody. What is it today? Today's Thursday already. Man, where did this week go? That's what I want to know. Where did this week go? Let's just say hello to everybody coming in, and we'll go from there. Happy Friday Eve, everybody. One of our coworkers always says that, Amanda. Actually gonna have dinner with her tonight. She's always saying happy Friday Eve. So happy Friday Eve to you guys. Happy Thursday and happy Friday Eve. Remember, folks, just a heads up again. I will not be here tomorrow. As you can see, I got my hair cut. I'm going to a wedding in Los Angeles on Sunday, so I'm flying out tomorrow. I'll update you I'll keep you guys updated in the Telegram channel with anything you guys need to know ahead of time. But I will be traveling tomorrow, so there will be a VIP room tomorrow, but there won't be a morning show tomorrow. Now, this is all tomorrow, not today. Okay, just heads up. Let's say hello to everybody: Manuel, Kevin, Ivano, David, Lewis, Lydia, Keith, Mark, Richard, Rihanna, Cheese Grade Trader, Deborah, Robert, James, Lloyd, Devin, Peanuts is in the house. Sean, Romel, Warren, Richard. Good morning, Richard from Puente Gorda. Junior is here. That's always good to see. Arnulfo, Wardock, Scotty, Tom, Omar, Wesley, Thomas, GBF, Vertuvian, John, James, Illinois grain farmer, Art, Genevieve, Richard, Javad, um, RP. Good morning, RP from Spain. Wow, fancy schmancy. Wayne, good morning, Wayne. Solaire, the dragon is here. Mr. Don, the dragon. I like that. Wade is here. Deb is here. Henry's here. Charlie Clyde is here. Ruth, Gustavo. Good morning, Gustavo. Good morning, Kirk. Good morning, Rachel. I like your name, Rachel. You and my daughter have the same name. We got uh we got a lot of people here is what we got. We got Jen, we got Eduardo, we got Jody, we got Jen, next generation. If you guys can hear me okay and see me okay, just let me know. Mike, Deborah, Pete, Jeff. Good morning, Jeff. Michael, Ira, RS, C. Fazio, Sergey, Dave, Steve, Ron, Ernest, Al, Bugs. Hey, Bugs. Peter. Good morning, Peter. Stacy, Bill, Moondog is in the house. Edward, Julio, Don, Rick, Doug, Kevin, James, Naples fan, Jeremiah, Dave, Scampy, Shamens, Karen the Shark is in the house. Always good to see Karen the Shark. Steven, Julio, Ray, Gene, Dave, Eagle Beagle's here. Hey, Eagle Beagle, Walt, Matt. Good morning, Bob. Timothy, Lewis, Duzzy. Rick says beautiful day from Estero, Florida. Yeah, it is it's gonna. We're having a little cool off here today too. Jason, Dylan, Deborah, Wait, Kevin, Becky, Frank, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And all of you guys who are watching from international or different hours, thank you for coming in here nice and early. I appreciate it. Okay. First things first. We got Barry, we got Kay Lopez, we got Doris. First things first. Please, 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 and I'll mention this again. I know people are just coming in here right now, but can you please, please, please hit the gearbox and make sure you're at 1080p? See how it sets me on auto every time. Make sure you're at 1080p, especially if you're walking around, if you're wireless or this and that. Brought positive results in 20 days of issuing plaguing our capital. Very happy federal officers brought positive results. Yeah, I'm not following it too much. It's not market related, but yes. Yes, please make sure you're on 1080p. William, good morning. Deanna, Kevin, good morning, everybody. JB, Richie Rich, good morning. I like that name, Richie Rich. Michael, Steve, Tom, Jean, Doris, K. Lopez, Barry, Rick, Frank, good morning. Beam Clay, David, people still coming in. And also, if you guys don't mind, if this is helpful to you guys, if you get benefit from here, if you make money from here, please hit the thumbs up button one time. And again, you don't have to do this. I mean, there's no roll call here. Only do it if you really want to. If you don't want to, that's okay too. Um, Lastly, I here's a link to my VIP room. Today, we're going to have a very, very, very special session in the VIP room. Let me tell you what I'm going to be talking about today in the VIP room. Very, very special. I figured since I'm not going to be here tomorrow, I'm going to give you guys like 100% today. We're going to talk. It's going to be a big day in the pit. I'm going to break down the walls for the average trader. Yes, Uncle Roger's breaking down the walls for the average trader. I'm going to talk about what the pit is. I'm going to talk about why I launched the pit. I'm going to talk about how Clyde trades the pit. That's right, Clyde. Different type of trades that we employ, how we generate trades in the pit, why our win rate is 94, 95% after 2 years, and how it's a getaway for people who want to become professional traders. And maybe we'll even find some pit trades live. How does that sound to everybody? Does that sound kosher? Here's the link again. Let me know if that sounds kosher to you. Hey, Arnulfo, Jim, RP, Hopium, Mike, Brick, Terrence, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let me know if that sounds kosher. And I'll also give you a link to Customer Service Live, the Cam and Gustavo show. Nothing good happens at the pit without, I mean, in the trading pub without Customer Service Live. All right. So you guys like that agenda? It's a very, very good agenda. I'm going to talk about what the pit is, why I launched it, how Clyde trades it, different types of trades that we employ, how we generate the trades, why our win rate is so high, and your getaway, and maybe we'll even find some trades. Now, folks, the pit is Uncle Roger's favorite program. That's the program where I'm in all day long. I don't let anybody else touch the pit. Nobody else puts trades in the pit except me. It's not like I let anybody else place trades anywhere else, but Matt helps me out with swing trades and Trading Zone Live. But nobody touches the pit. The pit is me being me. I wanted to launch a program where I can express my natural essence, and that's the pit. So I wanted to show you guys what a professional trader is really capable of doing. Okay, and I think I've done that a pretty damn good job of it over the last 2 years. So today I'm going to uncover all of it, okay? And I highly recommend you guys join. If you guys don't join the session today, you're really going to miss out because I'm going to be looking for some live trades, okay? It'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun. And again, don't forget Customer Service Live. Here's the link. Both of us, Jeff, both of us. Clyde is a little furry sometimes, and he's very sensitive. So the only person I let to post trades in the pit is Clyde. And let me show you what Clyde is doing most of the day, Jeff. I'm going to show you what he's doing most of the day, so you could see exactly what Clyde. He's usually supervising me. Here, I'll show you. I'll show you exactly what he's doing here. 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 Oops. Here. This is Clyde supervising me, Jeff. Because you haven't updated your screen, Don. You have to upgrade it for the thumbs up to upgrade. That's what Clyde is doing. That's what this cat is doing most of the day. That's how he's supervising me. That's exactly right, Jeff. You figured out my secrets. Shamelessly, it's Clyde. It's all Clyde behind the scenes. All right? It's all Clyde behind the scenes. You're right, Jeff. Couldn't be more right. He's very frisky, that Clyde. Okay, Let me show you guys stocks that I'm looking for small caps. These are my morning buzzers. They don't look all that great right now, and I don't know if they will, but I got four for you today, okay? Yeah, he's a chilling kind of guy. So here are my stocks. TELO. I like this stock only if it goes above 245 during the regular session. Remember, these are only if they go up during a regular session, okay? AQB. AQB only if it goes up above 130 during the regular session, okay? During the regular session, above 130 during the regular session right here. CWD. CWD is an interesting one, only if it goes above $3. Oh, it already went above $3. Sorry, but I made a mistake. 310. 310. Let's change that to 310. Remember, we have to trade above the high of the pre-open. And the profit target here would be about $4. And if it takes out four, it's got some good room. But the profit target here would be $4. And the entry's 310 as of right now. Yeah, about 310. And then SRPC. Oops, sorry. SPRC. I misspoke. SPRC. Here we go. This stock. Now, see how it hit the 200 and it just backed away? Well, probably nothing is going to happen with this stock. But if it comes, look at the volume. It's going to have some volume today and it can gyrate. If it gyrates past the 200-day moving average, which puts it at 735, I would like it, okay? Omar says, I have a meeting right now. Have to hope. Yeah, I'll see you in the VIP room, Omar. Thank you so much. Thanks for everything you guys do. And Bugs, thanks for all those Richard, Bugs, Omar, and everything else. I can't thank you guys enough. You make the Uncle Roger experience so much better for everybody because you show everybody what really is possible. You would figure me giving a 95% win rate in the pit would show them what's possible, but it doesn't satisfy people enough. So, okay, here are the stocks. AQB over 130. Tello, this one right here. Tello over 245, okay? CWD over 310. And if somebody can post that here, I would appreciate it. Here, I'll Stacy, if you could write them down, or if somebody doesn't write them down, I'll write them down, okay? I'll write them down. Okay. Here, I'll write them down, okay? I'll SPRC 735, CWP 310, AQB. There we go. Gustavo just wrote them all. There we go. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thanks for writing them out. I appreciate it. Thank you. So let's now move on. So those are the small caps. Okay, let's continue now. Fed data. We've got GDP, we got jobless claims, and we've got pending home sales. We also have Christopher Waller speaking. This will not make it into today's catalyst because this happens after market closes. So this, if he says something important, which I don't think he will, it'll be tomorrow's catalyst. But this is just a nothing burger because it's going to happen after the market closes. Hey, Angie, good to see you here. Good to see you, Martin. So glad you guys are here. Hey, Piet de Brock, good to see you too. Piet de Brock tunes in from the Netherlands. We have some people watching from Australia, Netherlands, all over the world. Very exciting. Very exciting. So these are going to be the big ones. Am I expecting anything from GDP, from jobless claims? You guys know what I'm expecting in the low 200,000s. Why? Because it's been there for as far back as I can remember. Now, if this gets to 275, 280, that be something to talk about. It did it once or twice, and then it just came right back down. As far as GDP, the number is supposed to be right on target. So they're not really expecting anything crazy. And you could see that they're pretty tight here. So we'll see what that number looks like in about 15, 20 minutes or so. But here you could see with the number, you could see quarter over quarter, and you could see what they're expecting. And they're not really expecting anything higher. Now, I want you guys to remember something. I want you guys to remember something important, okay? This is a revision. This is not DGDP. This is a revision. So this number will not have as much of an impact as a regular GDP. Please, please, please separate if a GDP, um, if please separate regular GDPs versus revisions. Okay. So this is a revision for the second quarter. This is not as impactful. Obviously, it's important, and obviously, the Fed is going to be looking at it, but it's not nearly as impactful as a fresh GDP. Okay. Just want to make sure you guys understand that. Next, Jen is for Poland. Oh, my. Oh, God. Poland. It must be afternoon there right now. All right, let's talk a little bit about commodities, okay? So yesterday, here, I'm going to cheat a little bit and just raise this a bit and just adjust it. There we go. Just wanted to adjust this to the current level. Should be right there. You could see we're still pretty much in this triangle. I just adjusted it for yesterday's high, but it doesn't change the trajectory here. You could see it right here. Look, we got one touch, two touch. Anything over two touches is a trend line. We have four touches here. Okay. So I'm not expecting the bond market to really break out today. This is pretty much it. And now I think we're going to start drifting back down. But do you see how this, let me just extend this. Okay. And let me extend this. See what happens if I extend this. All I'm doing is extending this into the future. You see how it's getting tighter and tighter? The range is getting smaller and smaller here. Well, the theoretic conclusion here should be a breakdown because this is a descending triangle. And this is not because I want it to break down. I don't. And if interest rates go down, this should break higher, but it's not. It's making lower highs, as you could clearly see right here. And we have a bottom here. This is a very, very clean descending triangle. And descending triangles, if you go to encyclopedia, they will tell you descending triangles break to the downside. So I don't know what's going to happen, but if this continues consolidating, think about how little directional bias the stock market's been having the last couple of weeks, right? Remember August, end of August, all that. Um, you could see right here that if this just continues and gets tighter and tighter, we're not going to get more directional bias. We're going to get less directional bias because stocks get their directional bias from the stock market. You understand? I don't know next gen. Based on the theory that interest rates should be going higher, this should be moving, I mean, lower, excuse me. This should be moving higher, but it's not. It's not. And if anybody knows, I always believe price over what anybody says by 100 to 1. So in terms of the public, this is what the public trades. This is a 20-year bond. This is speculation. This is not thinking that interest rates are going to go lower. This is thinking that interest rates are not going to go anywhere or go higher. And again, I'm not telling you what I think. I'm just telling you what the bond market is doing right now based on this. Now, if it breaks out above here, all bets are off. But based on this triangle, we should continue seeing a consolidation, and consolidation means tighter range. And again, stocks get their mojo from the bond market. So if the bond market's not rocking and rolling, the stock market is not rocking and rolling. This should be when rate cuts expected. Just go back from summer. Good morning from Barica, Colombia. Oh my, Portuguese. Oh my goodness. Wow. Wow, really, Martin? Listen to what Martin just said. Portuguese members, my God, that's amazing. It's amazing because I've always wanted to go to Portugal and I've never had. I heard it's absolutely breathtaking. I heard that the China there, the China, the plates and the architecture is absolutely beautiful. We had a Portugal deli in Los Angeles and Sherman Oaks, and I used to go there all the time, right next to where I used to get my hair cut. I used to love it. So that's one of the places I really want. That's on my bucket list, Portugal. I don't know why I got into all of that topic, but what I'm trying to tell you is the bond market is not giving us any the bond market's not giving us any mojo right now. And if the bond market continues getting tighter, that means the stock market range should be tighter too. Now, do I know if this is going to happen? Of course I don't. I'm just telling you based on the fact that this is building a clean triangle. Okay. Portugal is awesome. It's beautiful. Yeah. Yeah. I heard it was. Nice, very nice, very nice. More beautiful than Spain, really. Huh. Spend a month in Portugal medical. Friendly people. Yes, yes, very friendly people. I heard that too. I've met a few Portuguese people. Very nice. I got to go there in the winter sometimes. All right, here's the link to the VIP room with a cold dip in Baltic. Here's the link to the VIP room. I already told you I will be dissecting the pit today. And if you guys have any questions, the place to go is the customer service live Cam and Gustavo show. Let me give you guys the link for that. Here we go. I know a lot of people are just coming in here right now, so I want them to have this. All right. So that's the bond market. So based on what I'm seeing right now, and again, patterns break all the time, but this is not making me warm and fuzzy right now. The bond market, I mean, excuse me, the US dollar. I wish I had something to say. Let me tell you what I think. I'm speculating, but first of all, the US dollar is completely backing what we're seeing in the bond market. Because remember, where do bonds get their mojo from? From the US dollar. Remember, currencies, interest rates, stocks. Currencies, interest rates, stocks. So in principle, see how the US dollar is not doing anything at all? And I mean, when I say not doing anything at all, I mean not doing anything at all. It fits the criteria for the bond market not doing anything at all. And it fits the criteria for the stock market not doing anything at all, which is why I'm so slow to put in trades for you guys. You're welcome. This is quicksand. We call this quicksand period of the year. This is the quicksand period of the year. It goes up and then just tricks you and then comes back down. Comes down, tricks you and comes back up. This is why I've been very, very slow and very picky in the pit. But if the U.S. dollar stays this way, then I think I notice I'm combining them together because they interrelated. They're related to each other. If the U.S. dollar keeps doing this, then I don't really see any other choice than for the bond market to continue consolidating. And if the bond market keeps consolidating, I already explained to you how that impacts and I'm only theorizing based on the trading action or the lack thereof that we are seeing right now in both US dollar and bonds. Okay, gold. Gold is moving higher. I like what I'm seeing on gold. Remember what my instructions for you guys were. I told you that it's okay to buy gold when we're right above this level. We're at this level right now. Now, I know most of you or some of you already have gold. If you have gold, please don't add. We're not in a trend, we're in a consolidation. The only reason you should be getting into a position here is if you don't have gold, and would be a quick scalp with with us with us holding gold only till we get up to this level right here. See this? You don't have much to work with here. So if you're currently long gold, hold and liquidate while we're in this channel with the intent of getting it back in somewhere around here. Just playing the channel right now. But if you're long gold, don't liquidate. If you've been holding on to buy gold, it's okay to nibble a little bit right now. Small positions, don't initiate. What I would really like to see is a breakout above this level. I think if gold breaks out above this level, and based on what I'm seeing right now, it very much could, especially if interest rates don't go down as smoothly as we expect. This could be a breakout here. And if interest rates go lower, there's a good chance gold can also break out because carrying costs are less. Remember, carrying costs are a big part of the commodity. Typically, after a consolidation like this, you have a very, very nice move. A very, very nice move. The problem is we don't know if that move is going to be down or up. I'm theorizing it's going to be up because we've been sitting for several months now near all-time highs, but and holding there. So I'm assuming that the breakout will be to the upside and it'll be a real nice breakout. But you got to keep your eyes on the U.S. dollar and the bond market. This is very vulnerable right now. But I'm pleasantly surprised in what I'm seeing out of the gold market right now. Hey, G Boss, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Glad I didn't buy Nvidia. Good morning. Do you guys remember what I told you on? I had a come to Jesus talk with a lot of you yesterday. Here, I had a come to Jesus talk. right here. For anybody who thinking of trading Nvidia ahead of earnings or any other related stock, keep in mind you don't know what the earnings will be. And even if you did know what the earnings would be, you would have no idea what the reaction to earnings would be. The options were implying a 7% move. So anybody who bought options on Nvidia yesterday is being taken to the cleaners. All right. Look what I wrote. The expected move is 7%. It's only down. It's down. It was down less than, let's see what it's down this morning. Everybody was expecting a big move. And what happened? Babkas happened. It's down 1%. So were you expecting that? Did you know that was going to happen? I had no idea it was going to happen. The options were expecting a 7% move. I'll prove it to you. Look, 6.9% right here. See that? Look, 6.9%. And look at what you got. So, okay, so let's say you know the earnings ahead of time. Do you know how Wall Street is going to react to those earnings? Do you see this right here? This little note right here? There. See this little crap like this? Nvidia earnings call today. Someone spent 6.9 million on puts. Do they know something? Well, look what I wrote for you. This is a perfect example of FOMO. You read shit like this and you get FOMO. And do you even consider that this could be a hedge? This could be a retirement play. This could be part of a spread. Do you have any idea what this is? No, you don't, and either do I. But people see shit like this and they go hot and heavy. This is at 3 o'clock. I had a little come to Jesus talk with you yesterday, both in the pit and in the free Telegram channel. And I wrote, I know you want to buy Nvidia and related stocks, but don't. All right. Good. It can be a put or a call. Nothing in this case. I don't care what you bought on Nvidia. Your options are down. They were pricing in 7%. They got one. You're not making money on options on Nvidia this morning. I promise you that, unless you went short. Short the options. Just don't do it, folks. Don't do it. Don't do it. But I know there's this one guru that keeps telling you to do it. Just don't. I know better. Just don't. Here, did you get your 7%? No, you barely got 1%. So there you go. Send me a nice email and thank me for saving your ass yesterday. All right, gold. What is gold doing? Nothing. As I already explained, gold. Crude oil, not doing anything. Remember, crude oil, gold, US dollar, the bond market. If these assets are not doing anything, why would you assume that the stock market would do something? But Roger, you promised me 5 trades a week. You said 5 trades a week. Hey, I'll give you 10 trades a week, but they'll all be losers if you want them right now. Do you want me to give you losing trades? I don't think you do. Okay, let's continue. China, I know you can't see it here, but China regained most of its losses. China fell hard yesterday and then bounced back hard. It'll be represented probably on Friday, but China is almost back up to here. Bitcoin is coming back. Remember I told you this looks like it could be a turnaround here? Now we're at the 8-day EMA. Now you're going to be looking for a pullback to the downside. Here, let me draw this for you. So there's 2 things that are going to happen right here. We're either going to come right back down right here, or we're going to bounce right here. Okay. Now, the good thing is we're already at the 8-day EMA. So you should know this pretty quickly. If we start breaking higher and going above the 50-day line, then this scenario will probably win. If we start breaking down and showing weakness today, then this scenario will probably win. But we're literally at the turning point right now on Bitcoin. We're literally at the 8-day EMA as we speak. So keep an eye on the 8-day EMA on the Bitcoin futures, and you will have a lot of information, because theoretically we should be bouncing back down. I mean, we've only went up. We broke this down. We in 3 days we've only been able to recover this much out of this whole move. So I'm not really seeing a big bounce up or anything like that. See, usually we go up and then come right back down. Not seeing that. I'm seeing a stall here. So if you see price stalling here, if you see price trying to get above the 8-day EMA on the Bitcoin August futures, then it's a good time to start thinking about shorting Bitcoin related stocks. Okay. The market is going into long weekend holiday. Of course not. Of course not. I have double diagonal calendar spread on Nvidia, feeling good. Yeah, I mean that's great, Javad. You did the right way. Want to own 170. Uh, good, 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 good. Nobody's complaining. I like that. I like that. Good. All right, let's what time is it? It's almost that time. I usually try to get into the stock market right after the report comes out. The bond market just started coming off. I guess my timing is great. By the way, look at the levels I gave you yesterday. Look at that. Look at that. Those are levels I gave you yesterday. We're breaking down right now. Let's see. Did the report already come out? Survey says I'm not seeing a major breakdown, but I'm definitely seeing a breakdown. By the way, remember I told you bonds breaking down, triangle. Oh, my wife telling me she loves me. I love you too. There you go. Sorry about that. My wife just wanted to tell me she loves me. All right. So, bond market. Let's take a look. Jobless claims. Anybody have any numbers yet? I got to get my access for trade exchange from my assistant who stole it from me. Nothing here. Bond market's just kind of Couldn't get past this level here. Interesting. Seems to be a. Let's see if the Dow's doing anything. Pretty bullish for the Dow. QQQ, not bad. SPY holding on to these levels. See how this is coming down? The target would be right here. But I don't know if it's going to come down. Again, I don't know what the number is. 229. Okay, so perfectly on time. That's perfect. 229 is not, right up on expectations. It's a nothing burger. Nothing burger. But 3.3, that's pretty. 3.3 would be out of range. That means the Fed still has a lot of work to do if it's 3.3. Let's see. Oh, my dogs are going crazy right now. Ouch. That's pretty hot. That's pretty hot. That's a pretty hot report, folks. That's a pretty hot revision. That's not good. That's really hot. Okay. That's a hot number right there. It's a hot number. Let's see how the SPY's doing. Yeah, SPY's being fairly neutral about it. Nvidia's now down only 0.73, 0.73% to add insult to injury. QQQ is coming up. This report's not going to be bearish for the market. It's a nothing burger. But this is a hot report. This is pretty hot GDP. This is pretty hot. This would go towards the Fed not lowering rates. Just FYI. But we'll see. Now the bond market has turned around completely. Look at this. The big report is going to be personal income. This one right here. That's going to be tomorrow. Here's the, and I'll be updating you on Telegram. And this right here. These two numbers right here. Okay. It's too hot. It's too hot. Right. It shows that economy doesn't need a rate cut right now. But again, what do we know? All right. So we have China, we have Bitcoin. Let's break everything down in the stock market. We have all the data we need. Let's continue. We're pointing to a muted open on Wall Street as investors digest Nvidia's underwhelming earnings report. Nvidia fell 2% pre-market. Now it's down less than 1%. It's just not doing anything. Slightly weaker expected second quarter revenue. Data centers, disappointing expectations, just not good. The company said sales forecast not factoring shipments to China. The economy is pretty hot right now. They don't need to be lowering rates right now based on this. They need to lower rates when it slows down, not when it picks up. This is a pretty hot economy right here. Look, quarter over annual rate is 3.3%. Strong. The hell they need to lower rates for? Okay. I'm just letting you know personal consumption expenditure is 1.6. Okay. Has been saying more likely than not, we'll have to raise rates. Yeah. But they're not going to do it. I agree with him, but they're not going to do it. They do need to raise rates, but they're not going to do it. They do need to raise rates. They actually do need to raise rates. I agree with him. Uh, Second quarter GDP, jobless claims, we already saw them. They were jobless claims were right on target. GDP was a little hotter than expected, but that's a revision. But that just reminds them they really don't need to take action. We had some smaller stocks move yesterday. KSS is actually not that small of a stock. They had a report. They're up 24%. This is good for consumer retail. John Williams on Wednesday said September FOMC meeting will be a live one. Williams said the current levels of rate is modestly restrictive, meaning the Fed could reduce interest rates and still be somewhat restrictive. That's true. But again, we're going to have to figure out exactly what's happening in the economy. They will. And again, tomorrow's report is going to be very, very important. Very nice. Very nice. We now have an 87% chance that they're going to lower rates. Let me just see what the bond market's doing right now. Bond market's just flat. Flat. SPY looks like it wants to come up. SPY looks like it likes this report. SPY looks like it likes this report. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm just looking at some stocks we have. Yeah, I don't want to get into politics. Commerce Department second estimate of gross domestic products, initial jobless claims, pending home sales will come out later today. But the numbers were okay. I mean, they're hot. The report is hot. Um, Pending home sales is 10 a.m. The report was hot. Earnings. We'll talk about that in a minute. You know what? Actually, I want to ask you guys before we get over this. Does anybody know what the catalysts for today are? Let's do this right now. Does anybody know what the catalyst? Yes, it does, Cheryl. Of course it does, directly. And consumer expenditures too. Does anybody want to tell me what the catalysts are before we go too deep? John says jobless claims, GDP, pending home sales. I'm not really seeing the Nikkei. Nvidia, CrowdStrike, Dell has nothing to do with earnings today. Autodesk has nothing to do with earnings today, and COO has nothing to do with earnings today. John, when are earnings for Dell and ADSK? I want to ask you. Hold on. John, when are earnings for Dell? Let's look. Let's see. What is Dell doing? Does Dell have earnings right now? No. Okay, so let's take a look. So does Dell have earnings right now? No. No, it doesn't. Does Marvell have earnings right now? No, it doesn't. I think Marvell has earnings after the market closes. Does Autodesk have earnings right now? No. John, why are they all on your list? How about we stick with stocks that actually came out with earnings? Dell before market opens? Okay, all right. Let's put Dell. I don't see anything on Dell though. Let's see if that's the case. Let's see. Let's see. After market closes. Who said it was before market opens? Peanuts. Now I'm going to tell you guys, The reason I do this is so that you guys know your catalyst. Now, I want to explain something to you. We're having a big problem here. You thinking something is a catalyst when it's not a catalyst is worse than you thinking something is worse than finding catalysts. You guys have to stop doing this shit. Now, if I can come here and scroll here and see that it's after the market closes, you can too. How about Marvell? Let's look at Marvell. When does Marvell come out with earnings? After market closes today. How about Autodesk? So, John, why are you writing these? Is there a reason why you cannot come here just like everybody else and see that this is after the market closes? All of the stocks you mentioned are after the market closes. So let's start again. Can somebody tell me what the catalysts are this morning? Not what they will be tomorrow morning, what they are right now. And now, folks, I have the same information you do. So the only conclusion I can come to is that you guys are just don't paying attention or you just don't care. Well, if you think Dell is a catalyst today and it's not, then you're going to be watching Dell for no reason at all. Best Buy, let's see, BBY, is that an S&P 500 stock? It is. You're right. It is. It's a consumer discretionary. How about Dollar General? Consumer discretionary. So let me give you my catalysts, okay? Nvidia, CrowdStrike, the Fed, Dollar General, and Best Buy. I'm going to say that again. Best Buy, Dollar General, Nvidia, CrowdStrike, and the Fed. That's it. There's nothing else. Nvidia, GDP, Fed data. Just say Fed data, Richard. Consumer non-durables, consumer goods, Dollar General and consumer goods, consumer discretionary and staples. How about we just do that? Because Dollar General is consumer staples and consumer discretionary. So Dollar General type stores, electronic type stores like Target, and also electronic type stores and electronics and consumer stores, retail, basically retail, Nvidia, Fed, and CrowdStrikes. That's it. You can, Jeff. You can, which is what I was just doing right now. Dicks have earnings. Let's see. The Dicks have earnings. Yeah, but they're not in the S&P 500. Guys, listen to me. See, I understand if I had some inside information that you don't, but this thing is free. All you have to do is go to bar chart, type in earnings, and go to price overview and just scroll right here. It'll tell you if it's before the open or after. That's how I find out about it. And it would tell you if it's in the S&P right here. And it would even tell you the sector. Why do you keep giving me stocks that are not reporting and stocks that are not in the S&P 500? Like, why? Why are we having this problem? If you're not 100% sure, don't do it. Why? Because you're posting things for other people that they're writing. Finding a catalyst that's not there is just as bad as thinking something is a catalyst and it's not, or missing a catalyst. Don't do that. You're setting yourself up for big failure if you do that. So just say, I don't know. Just say, I don't know, because most of you don't know. The consumer discretionary, retail consumer discretionary, Fed, Nvidia, CrowdStrike. That's it. That's it, folks. That's it. Not stocks that are coming out tonight. If you don't have this page, just go to bar chart and go to price overview. It's right here. If I do it, you could do it too. All right. Let's see what the market's doing. All right, the bond market's coming up. That's good. SPY's coming up. Nice. Good. Things are coming up. Good. All right. So far, the market's interpreting this positively. Or neutral or positive. Okay. You got it, Jim. Those are the catalysts. By the way, I know that we have about twice as many people as we had here earlier. So let me just say this. Folks, VIP room today. Uncle Roger and Clyde are we're busting out the doors. Okay, we're going to talk about. I'm breaking down the walls literally for the average trader. What is the pit? Why I launched the pit? Why Clyde and I like to hang out the pit all the time? Different type of trades that we employ. How we generate trades in the pit. What type of trades we employ in the pit. Why we've had a 94 to 95% win rate on directional trades running for 2 years now, and your getaway to real professional trading experience. And we may even find some pit trades. So I posted that for you right now. And here's the link for Customer Service Live, the Cam and Gustavo show. You don't want to miss out. Please, please join them from 10 to 1 every single day. They will help you. Okay. Now let's go back to our scheduled events. Europe is up 0.28. Everybody's waiting for Nvidia, but notice we're not getting a lot of volatility from Europe. China closed sharply higher, recouping most of the prior session's losses. Chip stocks jumped on Thursday after a local plan to triple the country's AI chips next year. This is important. This is important. This is really important. Yeah, and folks, if you're just coming in here, please give us one thumbs up. Just one time thumbs up. Let's see how many we have right now. I'm told that it helps the algorithm uh, broadcast us. So let's see, 271 thumbs up. Let's try to get over 300 in the dead of summer. Okay. Yes, directional trades, Jim. Yes, directional trades. I'll be talking about all of it today. I'll be giving you the full lowdown today. Thank you, Jeff. Japan closed higher today, recouping part of this week's losses. Metal and energy stocks led the gains. Chip stocks also advanced. Notice chip stocks advancing, brushing aside initial drag from Nvidia revenue guidance. And by the way, look at Nvidia. Look at Nvidia right now. They're brushing away the guidance. The Nvidia has been upticking. It's down only 0.36 right now. Who they were expecting 7% move and Nvidia's moving 0.36, and people still tell me that they can predict earnings. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh, I wanted to tell you guys, Eagle Beagle. I wanted to show you guys this. So a couple of years ago, I'm gonna boast about myself a little bit right now. A few years back, about 2 years ago, maybe a little more, I told you guys very loudly. I actually announced it during my algo conference. I said, folks, I have a very important announcement for you. I said, Warren Buffett is starting to put his money into Japan. And I think he's doing it because interest rates are about to go higher and Japan is about to have a boom. I said that here about 2 years ago, and I made a big deal about it. Okay. And ever since I said it, Japan's market has been going higher and higher and higher. And again, I read today the benchmark index accelerated after Mitsubishi said Warren Buffett raised its stake in the trading house. Now, he's been doing this now for 2 years. Look at when he started. Okay, if you don't believe me, take a look. Take a look. France is not a global market, Peanut. It's not going to impact U.S. Don't get caught up in nonsense. As far as it impacts America, I'm not talking about nonsense. I know it's important over there, but it's not impacting global markets. It doesn't have a big enough impact on the euro. So, but if you look at go online and just type in Google, when did Warren Buffett start investing in Japan? Warren Buffett started investing in Japan as soon as they had a new minister, and the minute prime minister said he was going to start raising rates, Warren Buffett started putting money into the country. And I've been talking about this ever since it started, and I've been talking about it now for 2 years. But look at Japan. Look at when they got their new prime minister. Look when they started raising rates, and look at when Warren Buffett started buying 10% of their biggest companies. It all started exactly at the same time. And I gave you guys heads up live. It was one of my bonus features in my live class. This is what people pay 10K for. This was one of my top internal picks. He's still buying it, and I'm still expecting them to raise their rates, and I'm still expecting price to go higher. Now, I know most of you folks don't pay attention to this, but I know Eagle Beagle and I remember all of what you said and spoke about with Buffett in Japan. Yeah, do you remember? I've been on this gravy train for 2 years now. I'm just letting you guys know that this is not something new. And if you guys are interested in international development. Take a look at this. It's very interesting. Take a look at when they replaced their prime minister. Take a look at what the prime minister started doing, and take a look at when Warren Buffett started buying, and he started buying stocks that have a very, very strong dividend yield, and they started raising their rates. All this started happening right at the same time a couple of years ago. Japanese stocks, Japan stock market, Bob, just Japan. Yeah, it was in real time, Ben. You guys remember? You guys have been here for a while. Yeah, he was the first person in. He was. You remember that? Okay, so you guys remember. And I'm mentioning you, Eagle Beagle, because I know you like to look at I'll give you the Japanese ticker symbol tonight. I'll give you a good one, but definitely, definitely don't rule this out. Warren Buffett is no fool. Okay, and I told you guys all of this as it started happening. Literally a little over 2 years ago, I made a big deal about this. Okay, so don't think this is just nonsense. This is not nonsense. This is a very, very smart man. Okay. Uh, Nvidia, it's not down 2%. It's down 0.46%. So you would have had to guess the implied volatility. You would have had to guess the earnings, and you would have had to estimate the reaction. If you guys can do that, you don't need me, okay? You don't need me if you can do that, because I can't do that. CrowdStrike, where's CrowdStrike? Right here. Cybersecurity. This is going to impact hard tech, and this is going to impact soft tech. No, 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 not Sony. More like financial stocks would be companies there, especially those with big dividends. Yes, because they were really low. They kept their interest rates. Just Jen, they kept their interest rates low for 10 years. They wouldn't have any growth. You need to have higher rates for growth. Remember, higher interest rates don't mean bad things, especially when interest rates are suppressed or negative. Just Jen, remember they had negative rates? Do you remember that? Negative interest rates? You guys don't remember during COVID when Japan and foreign governments had negative interest rates? Anyway, how fast people forget. So, and this is a small cap, and this is a small cap. So they're not in the S&P 500. Yeah, they stifle exactly what Jeff just said. They stifled their economy. Jen, it gets to a point where low rates are not enough for growth as well. That does their yen and coins. First one in Japan. Very interesting. He loves dividends, folks. This is not a short-term scalp. This is like a long-term. This is like a 10-year type of thing. I told you about it 2 years ago. Not one thing has changed since I mentioned it. Okay, let's talk about stocks. I got to give you guys levels. So I want to show you whether we have clarity right now. So for the last, is there a problem with okay, there we go. Okay, so interest rates, semiconductors are now back here. They're not down here anymore. That's very, very good. Consumer discretionary is up here. Technology is now up here. You still have certain things down here like communication. You still have Bitcoin. But for the most part, look where speculative sectors are starting to come up. And what happens when speculative sectors start coming up? We have directional bias. I always show you when these start leading, we get flat. When this starts leading, we get directional bias. Russell 2000, semiconductor, mid-cap, retail, consumer discretionary, technology. Even QQQ is not down here anymore, but up here. This is starting to look good. And guess what? 269. You want speculative stocks leading. Folks, not right now. Right now, sector rotations are happening like every other day. But typically, sector rotations can stay the same way for 3 months, 5 months, 7 months. Can you imagine how easy it is to trade when things are happening that way? You literally just have to pick off the 8-day EMAs. But we're not in that market right now. But there is momentum. There is momentum. Here, I want to show you the 1-month highs. So we're at 336. Look, yesterday was 230, then it was at 130, and then before that was 507. So we're getting up there again. We're getting up there again. This is positive. We have positive momentum to the upside. We have zero momentum to the downside. Look, 11 stocks making 90-day lows, 11 stocks making 50-day lows, 5 stocks making 20-week lows, 1 stock making a 1-year low. One stock. One stock. What is Bug saying? Let's see. Bug says Nvidia heavily weighted in SPY. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Big time. That's right, Eagle Beagle. He's right. I'm just reading up. I'm just reading at your thank you. Thank you, Pete. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, higher rates are not bad. Over high rates are bad. Higher rates are not bad when the economy's humming. Listen to what Wesley just said. Just said. Yep. It's hard to make money when you have negative interest rates, right? And Nvidia is now down only 0.22 right now. Let's look at SMH. SMH is just following it. Just following it. Okay. All right. So we do have some directional bias to the upside, and we do have starting to see speculative stocks coming back, like Russell, semiconductors, mid cap, retail, consumer discretionary. I'd be really, I would still give tech a few days, like CrowdStrike type of stocks, but some of them are looking good. I prefer non-tech discretionary right now. That's what I would prefer. Travel stocks, airline stocks. I have a whole bunch for you actually. And now let's talk levels. Let's talk levels. Let's talk levels. Actually, let me just see something here. Let's talk levels. Let's talk levels. So on a daily, let me just give you daily. The SPY is right now at all-time highs. We're starting to deviate from the 8-day EMA. Look, too much. This is too much. This is too much. It may peak out next day or two, but we got to come back down to the 8-day EMA. As far as intraday levels, let me give you those to you. Now, I asked you guys for some suggestions yesterday, and I got 2 or 3 emails of folks asking me how to use these levels, okay? How to use these levels. What I will do next week in the VIP room, I will have a complete session of how to use these levels, okay? I will have a complete session, a full session on how to use these levels, okay? There's an art to using these levels, and I'm going to give it to you next week, okay? And right here. Here are the levels for the S&P, right here. Feel free to write them down or copy them right here. But overall, I would be very careful of the yesterday's close, 640, 658, and I would be watching price come back into this range, okay, on the SPY. On the QQQ, look at the levels I gave you yesterday, guys. Look at these levels on the QQQ. Look at the bottom here. Look at the top here. Look at this right here. Boom, boom, boom. Look, right here, right here, right there, right there. Let's continue. There's the next level. That's all you need on the QQQ. We're not that far off the 8-day EMA. This is not nearly as deviated as blue chips. Why, Roger? Because blue chips have been going apeshit last few days. Look. See that? Look at the Dow. A little bit ahead of itself. Financial stocks have been pretty the last few days. Okay? I'm going to have to tell Matt to dump that long bank stock we have today. So I think what's happening is we're going to see rotations coming back into the technology, hard tech like SMH, MAGs. See how MAGs are bouncing off the 8-day? And I think we're going to see a little in the blue chips. I think. I'm not sure yet. They're still pretty strong, but as of right now, I would be very, very cautious because this is starting to get a little overextended. QQQE is still in chop land. So I think with Nvidia's earnings out, I think institutions are going to start making moves again and start accumulating hard tech at the expense of blue chips. You see this? Which confirms this view, by the way, that blue chips are starting. Let me show you this. Look. Let me go back a week. Okay, see here, it's all defensive stocks a week ago. And you see here, literally every speculative stock. Look, consumer discretionary, communication, retail, mid cap, QQQ, Russell 2, like in order, right? A week ago. It's a week ago, August 20th. Now look today. See, change. They're now starting to get back up here. So what I'm thinking is we're going to see some mild selling pressure or some on the Russell 2000 on the blue chips. On the blue chips, look at Russell 2000, how deviated it is from the 8-day EMA. That's a real strong deviation right there. This is not sustainable. Look right here what happened. It bounced up. Look at the distance between the 8-day, right? And then it just came right back down. So I'm thinking Russell 2000, Dow stocks, defensive stocks, a little softer. And I'm thinking chip stocks, tech stocks, maybe getting a little bit of strength. And here, let me give you the level here. Right there. Right there. Okay. Yeah. Rotation makes it a challenge, if not for this kind of insight. Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it. Very nice of you. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that RSP and I'm thinking that Dow are going to start cooling off a little bit, as you've seen last night. Look at where we peaked out. And like financials, see how financials are getting a little overextended? I really liked financials last couple of days, but this is not, look at the high here. The high, we've been going down. Now look at XLK. Look at XLK. See it's how it's coming up? Look at XLK, how it's hugging the 8-day. Do you see this? You can't make this stuff up, folks. Look at XLY. Not deviated from the 8-day nearly as much. A little deviated, but not too much. This has some blue chips in it too, though. But for the most part, you could see that QQQ is hugging the 8-day right here, right? Hugging it. Whereas the SPY, because of RSP and the Dow, so the non-technical stocks in the S&P and the Dow are getting a little bit ahead of itself at the expense of technology. I just talked about IWM a second ago. That's getting a little ahead of itself. A little ahead of itself. Look, peaked out, opened high, and then going down. But look at technology. Look at technology. Look at technology. Look at SMH. See that? XLY is just doing nothing. But my point is, I think you guys get exactly what I'm saying. I got to get out of here. Let me give you the stocks that I'm looking at today. I would be very, very be cautious of tech shorts. Blue chip shorts may be better. That's SBAC. That's my shorts. I'm giving you shorts. Fun QSR. I've been giving you this stock for the last few days. TW Tradewinds. Lee Motors. Lee Motors has earnings or might have already had earnings, so I would probably not do anything on here today. All right. As far as longs, VS8, I like the stock a lot. VSAT, I really like the stock a lot. I missed it yesterday. I wanted to give you the stock, but I was chicken because of Nvidia and I missed it. I'd really like to buy the stock right here if I can. Somewhere right around here. So this is definitely on my list, okay? Definitely on my list. Let's see something here. Curses. I should have bought it somewhere around here. I really like it around this level, 32. Anyways, I like this stock. Levi. Ooh, look at Levi. Bank stocks are still looking okay, but I would be very careful. I would maybe think of offsetting them this morning. WDC I like. TSCO I like. CVS I like. LVS I still like. Las Vegas Sands. And Wynn, they're both looking really good, but Wynn is a little overextended. RTX I like. RCL I like. This one's getting a little too extended. This is probably better. They both a little overextended. These are the kind of stocks that may actually be coming off next couple of days. INSM. All right. All right. Let's take another look at our small caps, and I'm out of here. SPRC. Yeah, above 375. CWD. CWD, CW. It keeps going past our entry. We initially called it a 3. It's already a 332. So your entry is going to be above 333, which is the high so far. 333 CWD, CWD 333 AQB. This one is probably not going to get hit. It's above 130. And TELO above 245. Folks, I got to get out of here. I will see you in the VIP room at noon today. We have a huge, huge, huge agenda today. A huge agenda. It's all going to be surrounding the pit. We're going to talk about the pit. Okay. The pit and nothing but the pit. Now, the pit is that's my program. Okay. That's my program. That's my baby. I hope you guys have enough respect for me to come and watch me show off my baby. It's happening at noon, and there's the link to Customer Service Live. If you have any questions, non-customer service questions, at rogerscott.com. That's my email. Don't know why I wrote it in all caps, but that's my email. I hope you guys have a great day. And please, if you guys think I was hard on anybody here, I apologize. That's not what the point of this is. I just don't want you guys to think something is a catalyst if it's not a catalyst, okay? Folks, let the market show its hand today. Let the market show where the money is, where it's going, where it's coming from, and we go from there. Okay? Don't try to instill your faith in the market. I gave you my roadmap. I think we're going to see a little bullishness in technology at the expense of blue chips today. But let's see if that's hold true. Also, we have at 10 o'clock banking news, and that may be germane to our analysis as well. Bye, everybody. I'll see you later. And be proud of yourself for not taking Nvidia yesterday. You would have lost money if you would have taken it directionally. Bye. Basically, anybody who took Nvidia directionally yesterday